Hi, I'm Tim, welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it, and you could purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing one of the most handsome and thoroughly realized of the Hublot Big Bang Unico limited editions. Everything about this World Boxing Council limited series of 100 pieces for 2019 simply works. It's part of the persona of Hublot to embrace bombast, and this watch does it with grace. True, it's big, and true, it's bulky, but it also fits remarkably well for something that's nominally 45 millimeters and wears more like a 47. I have to say that the watch is very in character, both for Hublot and for the sweet science. Now, on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you get a real good sense of the watch in proportion, and it is a large timepiece. It's not as thick as you might expect. At 15.7 millimeters, that's probably its most compact dimension, but it is broad across the wrist as it measures titanic 57.7 millimeters, though I do have to give credit to Hublot as the watch is comprised principally of resin, ceramic, and titanium. It doesn't feel like a 45 in the hand, and you can see that there's an arcing of the lugs down and around the wrist, so if I were to properly size this with the clasp and strap it onto my wrist, it would sit securely and it wouldn't be too heavy, so I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. Now, the strap system is brilliant. Hublot debuted this push button originally on the King Power, and it is a clever and convenient way to quickly swap straps to change the look of your watch. Inspired by automotive seatbelt buckles, it isn't even obviously a quick release for the strap until you activate it. Now, the system releases a strap that's nicely matched the case. As you can see in profile, it matches the swell of the case, just as from dead on, it matches the swell of the lugs. Now, it's a hybrid of large rectangular scale alligator leather that is green with a monotone stitch, and you'll appreciate the fact that the rubber underneath will isolate the leather from wrist oils, heat, moisture, and essentially extend the strap life indefinitely as long as you don't try to swim with it. Now, we have here a hybrid titanium and ceramic clasp with twin trigger release. You can see the internal chassis of the clasp is actually the Hublot H logo, and you tuck any excess length underneath the clasp. You can see there are even gussets built into the strap to prevent the pin of the buckle from gouging the leather, so they truly thought deeply about how this is going to go together and wear over time. Now, once it's sized down, all of the excess length is tucked underneath the clasp, so there's no excess length visible externally and there are no minder loops. This keeps the strap quite clean. It's a wonderful system that Omega also employs, and I embrace it in all of its forms. Now, the case band is, one might even say, slightly architectural, as you have the sense that you're looking at a building that's sort of in the mid-phase of construction, with the frame up, but the outer panels and windows, the bricks, the masonry not yet in place. It's almost the skeleton of a machine brought from the inside out. Now, you have contrasting yellow gold H-pattern Hublot bezel bolts, you have resin inserts, you have ceramic in green, highly scratch resistant, protecting every facet of the watch. But what I really like is the attention to detail, as if you get quite close, you can see that Hublot both polished and satin finished the ceramic, and it's an impressive feat of material manipulation to finish ceramic with the same satin and polish that you would render on steel. This needs to be done with diamond-tipped milling tools. You see the automotive piston-inspired chronograph pushers, the Hublot H pattern on the crown, which is rubber-wrapped, and then you can see that there are many yellow-gold accents all the way around this watch. It continues on the bezel, which is also ceramic and highly scratch-resistant. The bolts themselves, yellow-gold with that H pattern, and the dial wonderfully open, decorated with both green and gold. It's a nice, effective, yet unusual combination. Seeing how well it works here, you wonder why it isn't used more often elsewhere in high horology. Now, there is a logo of the World Boxing Council over at 9 o'clock that actually contains the constant seconds, and you can see that the dial, which is deeply dished and multi-layered, there's actually a second sapphire underneath on which all of the details of the dial are mounted, and Hublot is printed on the underside of the primary crystal, so you have two crystals, one above and one below, and then you can see the caliber. Hublot 1242 Unico just beneath, you can see there is a 60-minute register for the chronograph, which I love because 30 minutes is not enough for a chrono, and most folks don't time things measured in hours with a chronograph, so give me 60 minutes over 30 minutes in an hour register. You also have the date, which features a skeletonized disc that orbits the dial, and you will note as we move towards the turn that we have a scrolling minutes display, and that the minutes display, I should mention, driven directly off the barrel to avoid the loss of amplitude that normally comes with the activation of a chronograph. If you look underneath my finger, you can actually see the lateral clutch moving away from and into contact with the chronograph driving wheel. You can also see the black polished column wheel, which features an H in the middle. You can see that black polished H. It is essentially a chronograph built inside out with the clutch and the column wheel on the dial side, so you can enjoy the most engaging parts of a mechanical chronograph without removing the watch from the wrist. Now you can see limited edition out of 100. This is lucky number 13. A-Rod would like it. Dan Marino too. You'll also appreciate the fact that under the WBC logo, the Unico is a pretty good looking movement. 38 joules automatic winding with ceramic bearings, 72-hour or 3-day power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It has stop seconds, so hacking. It also has a quick set date. It's adjusted in 5 positions, and though you can't quite see it, there's an unlubricated full silicone escapement to extend the maintenance intervals of this watch out to half a decade or more. And every basic Unico chronograph includes flyback reset restart capability, so they are all flybacks. The crown is a screw down, and the watch is 100 meters water resistant, so while boxing is not an aquatic sport, this is most definitely an aquatic sports watch. You could see it and you can make it yours on the watch box. And we're back with the Big Bang Unico World Boxing Council 2019 limited edition of 100 pieces.